Hello friends, good afternoon and welcome to EduSat Live Lectures. Dear friends, as you know that we have already started a series on polynuclear hydrocarbons and heterocyclic compounds. And in this series we have brought yet another lecture for you. In this lecture we will discuss about quinoline, which is also a kind of heterocyclic compound. To discuss this topic, we have with us our subject expert, Dr. Sushila Singhal. Dr. Singhal is Assistant Professor in Department of Chemistry in Deshbandhu College, University of Delhi. Without further ado, I would like to welcome ma'am to our studios and request her to start the lecture. Welcome ma'am.
Thank you, Amrit ji. A very happy new year to all the viewers. Before starting the lecture, I just want to discuss about a disease, that is malaria. Malaria is a disease which is caused by the protozoa Plasmodium and which is spread by the mosquito female Anopheles. The symptoms of this malaria disease is shivering, high fever and many others, headache, backache, etc. The drug which is commonly given in the malaria disease is quinine. This quinine is the extract from the cinchona bark. From the cinchona bark we get this quinine, in which this quinoline is the main skeleton of this medicine. Recently this was given as a tonic for this malaria. Tablets were also available in the market. It is also present in many tonics, in many anti-malarial drugs. This quinoline nucleus is present. This quinoline nucleus is also present in many antibiotic drugs. So, what is this quinoline? It is a heterocyclic compound. Today we will discuss about this quinoline molecule. I have divided my lecture into two modules. In the first module, we will discuss about the quinoline introduction, structure of quinoline, and how its structure has been determined. We don't know the structure recently, but after applying many reactions on the quinoline, we designed a structure to any molecule. Then we will discuss the synthesis of quinoline via many name reactions. One of them is Krebs synthesis. Its application is in many other properties also. Then we will discuss the Dobner-von Miller synthesis, then Fitz-Zinger synthesis, then Freind-Lander synthesis. After that, we will study the Konrad-Limpeck and the Nord synthesis. In the module 2, we will discuss about the physical property of the quinoline and the chemical reactions of the quinoline. In the chemical reaction, we will study the electrophilic substitution and the nucleophilic substitution reactions. After that, we will study the quinoline derivatives and applications of quinoline. Then we will summarize today's lecture. So, first of all, we want to start that what is this heterocyclic compound, quinoline. This quinoline is a benzo-fused heterocyclic compound which was first isolated from coal tar but also present in pyroxylate oil, that is a bone oil, and in the Angostura bark. But later on it was obtained by heating the alkaloid obtained from cinchona bark with alkali. Alkali you can take sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. Structurally the molecule is made up of a benzene ring attached with a pyridine ring at the alpha beta position of a benzene, and that thus it has the same relation to pyridine as naphthalene has to benzene and indole to pyrrole. Here you can see the quinoline structure in the ball and the stick model structure. This blue ball is of nitrogen, which is a heterocyclic, which is a heteroatom in the quinoline, and these grey balls are carbon molecules and these white are hydrogen elements. Here we have shown the numbering in the quinoline molecule, in which nitrogen atom will have the number 1, then from the right side carbon 2, carbon 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and this is the position number 8. This is C8. These numbering we can do alpha, beta and gamma also, as the atmosphere of these hydrogen at the C2, C3 and C4. These 3 carbon hydrogens are having the different environment, so these are having different designation. C2 is alpha, C3 hydrogen is beta and C4 is gamma. This quinoline has different names also. It is one as a naphthalene and benzopyridine. It is alpha beta benzopyridine also, and the most common name is quinoline. Molecular formula of this quinoline is C9H7N with molecular weight 129.16. Then comes the structure of this quinoline, that the carbon present, the nitrogen atom and the hydrogens are in which state of hybridization. All the ring atoms in quinoline are sp2 hybridized. And the lone pair present on nitrogen atom resides in the sp2 orbital only and are not involved in the formation of the delocalized pi molecular orbital. It means that the lone pair present on nitrogen atom is free to donate, which will account for the basicity of this quinoline heterocyclic compound. This quinoline is aromatic in character as it follows the all 3 criteria which are essential for the aromaticity of any compound. It is cyclic in nature and it is having delocalized pi electrons above the plane and below the plane. So, it is a planar molecule. Here there is conjugation in the compound. Conjugation means alternate alpha and alternate single and the double bond present in the molecule. Here you can see in the quinoline molecule that there is a single, double, single, double, single, double. This alternate single and double bond which is called the conjugation. So, conjugation is present in the quinoline compound. It also obeys Huckel's rule, which is the pi orbital rule which contains the pi number of electrons. Here you can see that there are 5 double bonds. So, the number of pi electrons will be 5 into 2 will be 10 and 4n plus 2 will be equal to 10. Here the number of n will come to 2 which is an integer, and since it is an integer, so it obeys the Huckel's rule. After following all these facts, we can say that the given compound is aromatic in nature. Quinoline is considered to be the resonance hybrid of the following resonance forms. The first structure is the resonating hybrid. This first structure, this is the resonating hybrid of these 7 structures, first, second, third and these 7, in which first 3 structures are similar to the Kekulé structures which are there similar to the naphthalene molecule, and these last 4 structures in which we are having polarity in the molecule which are having charges, positive and negative charges are there, so the molecule is polar in nature. These shows the effect of electron attracting nitrogen atom on the molecule. Then comes the structure determination of quinoline. Before starting the structure determination of quinoline, I just want to start with the structure determination of any compound. We have isolated this quinoline from the cinchona bark. We don't know that in a particular beaker which compound is present, whether it is having carbon number, whether it is having nitrogen or it is having any other heteroatom. So, first of all, we have to do the elemental analysis of a given compound which is present in any beaker or in any flask. So, for that we have to do the elemental analysis which is called carbon, hydrogen and any heteroatom elemental analysis. So, after that we will design the empirical formula or the molecular formula of any compound. Here in this case it comes to be C9H7 and N. Then after getting this molecular formula, we have to do many reactions on a compound which is present in a beaker. Then after that we will discuss that if we do the addition reactions on that compound and it adds 2 or 3 number of bromine atom or hydrogen atom, then we will say that it is having the particular number of double bonds in the given compound. Then we will do the oxidation reactions or reduction reactions on that compound. We have to do the many functional group testing on that compound, that whether a given compound is having any functional group present in that compound or not. If any functional group is not present in the compound, then it will be a hydrocarbon. It can be a heterocyclic compound and any other. So for that, in this case, quinoline, it shows quaternary salt formation with the halides, which indicates that it is having a tertiary nitrogen atom present in the compound. Since only tertiary amines, they form quaternary salt with the alkyl halides. So from this we can say that quinoline, which is having a molecular formula C9H7 and nitrogen, this nitrogen is present as a tertiary amine. It shows the property of that tertiary amines also. After that, since quinoline undergoes electrophilic substitution reactions like nitration, sulfonation and alkylation, acetylation, etc. So we can say that it is having the aromatic nucleus in the compound, since only aromatic compound shows the electrophilic substitution reactions. Now on oxidation with KMnO4, potassium permanganate, it gives quinolinic acid, which indicates the presence of a pyridine ring. Here you can see the reaction. This is the quinoline. We don't know the structure here. This is the molecular formula only. We will do the oxidation reaction and it will form a compound which is having a pyridine ring with the 2 dicarboxylic groups. Now from the analogy to the oxidation of naphthalene to phthalic acid, naphthalene also shows the same type of oxidation. We can assume that the quinoline molecule is formed by the fusion of a pyridine ring with a benzene ring, which is oxidized during oxidation. The benzene ring has been oxidized to the 2-carboxylic acid, and this is the pyridine ring which is intact in the oxidation. So the quinoline may be represented as this structure. Further, quinoline, like pyridine, has an unshared pair of electron, thus it will behave like the tertiary amine. The electron pair which is present on nitrogen, it can be donated like tertiary amines, so it behaves like amines. Moreover, since quinoline molecule has a delocalized orbital that encompasses the nitrogen and the carbons, it has also the aromatic properties. Finally, for any organic compound, after doing many reactions on a compound, we have to do the structure synthesis. This synthesis here in this case is Fried-Lander synthesis, which also confirms that the quinoline is having the structure which we have shown. So quinoline is best regarded as a resonance hybrid of following structures. These are 3 structures here, in which only you can see there is only delocalization of these double bonds. Only the position of double bond is changed in these structures. After that, since the quinoline molecule is having dipole moment also, it is having the dipole moment 2.10 dBi, and the nucleophilic substitutions at position 2 and 4 of quinoline indicates that charged structures such as structure number 1 and structure number 2 must also contribute to the resonance hybrid. So the resonance hybrid which we have shown in the last picture, these only 3 structures are not sufficient to describe the quinoline structure. We have to add the 2 more structures also, which are 2 polar structures. After contributing of these 5 structures, only then we will say that the quinoline is a stable molecule which shows all electrophilic and nucleophilic reactions. Then comes the preparation of quinoline. Many type of synthesis. Many name reactions are there which will account for the synthesis of this ring structure. One of them is the Scrope's synthesis. It is the most important method for the synthesis of quinoline. It involves a heating of a mixture of aniline, glycerol with the concentrated sulfuric acid and ferrous sulfate in the presence of an oxidizing agent. Traditionally, there was only mixing of all these ingredients all together in a large flask, but it has many limitations since the reaction is very exothermic. So, to overcome these limitations, it has been suggested that the reaction should be done in steps. First, the conjugated adduct should be formed, and after the following steps will be followed. It involves the 5 steps. First of them is dehydration. It is a dehydration of glycerol by hot sulfuric acid to form the unsaturated aldehyde. In case of glycerol, it is acrolein. Then in the second step, this acrolein will add on aniline to form beta phenylamino propanaldehyde. It is a type of Michael type addition. This nucleophilic addition is Michael type of addition. Then this protonated aldehyde will do the electrophilic attack on the aromatic center by the electron deficient carbonyl compound to form the cyclic moiety. Then this cyclic moiety will undergo dehydration. This dehydration of the secondary alcohol will then form the 1,2-dihydroquinoline by the strong acid. In the last step, this 1,2-dihydroquinoline will undergo oxidation by nitrobenzene, resulting in the aromatization to form the quinoline molecule. Function of ferrous sulfate here is to moderate the reaction since the reaction is very exothermic. Here we can also use boric acid. Here oxidizing agent used are nitrobenzene. We can also use ferric salts, stannic chloride or arsenic acid. Nitrobenzene as an oxidizing agent is more preferred because aniline end reactant is produced by its reduction, which can be further utilized, so it can be cyclized in the reaction. There will be the atom economy, it will be a greener reaction in this case since side products will be also used. Because of the tendency of acrolein to polymerize, it is not employed itself in the reaction under ordinary conditions. However, higher yields are obtained by passing the acrolein vapors into the mixture of aniline, sulfuric acid and the oxidizing agent. Here we have shown the synthesis. This is the first step where this is the glycerol molecule. This is the glycerol which is having the 3 carbon with the 3 hydroxy group. It is the trihydroxy carbohydrate which is called glycerol. It will undergo dehydration with concentrated sulfuric acid to form this acrolein. This acrolein then will undergo nucleophilic addition with the aniline. This is a Michael type of addition which will form this adduct. This is the beta, this is the functional group, this is the position number 1, this is the 2, so this is the beta phenylamino propanaldehyde. It is formed which will then undergo electrophilic attack by the this benzene ring to form this cyclic moiety. This cyclic moiety will then undergo dehydration. This secondary alcohol will convert into the 1,2-dihydroquinoline which will undergo oxidation in the presence of nitrobenzene, and this aromatic compound quinoline will be formed and side product aniline will come here. This aniline will again can be used in the same reaction. So, this side product is used. This is a green reaction. This Scrope's synthesis. This synthesis is very important because it is also used in many preparations of many substituted quinolines also. We can use the substituted aniline. In the last reaction we have taken only aniline. Here we have taken orthoaminophenol, which is a substituted aniline. We can also substitute aldehyde or can also substitute the ketone also. Here we have not shown the steps, only the mixtures we have written, and we will get here 8-hydroxyquinoline, which is also called oxime. Here we have taken metachloroaniline. The position of substituent we have changed from ortho to meta. In case of meta substituted aniline, we will get 2 ortho position free. Both ortho positions adjacent to amino group are free. So we will get a mixture of 2 products. One of them is 7-chloroquinoline and one of them is 5-chloroquinoline. This we can use at the para position also. We can take the substituent. Here we have chosen the para-chloroaniline. From here we will get the 6-chloroquinolines. So from these 3 reactions in the applications, we can say that we can choose any substituent at any position, either at ortho or at meta or at para position. We can get the substituted quinolines by the help of this Scrope's synthesis. In this reaction, we have not substituted aniline, we have substituted the aldehyde or the ketonic part. We have taken here vinyl methyl ketone. In this case, we will get the substituent at the pyridine ring. In the last reactions, we will get the substituent at the benzene ring, but here we will get the substituent at the pyridine ring of the quinoline nucleus. Next important reaction is Dobner-von Miller synthesis. This is also related to Scrope's synthesis, but it involves heating a primary aromatic amine with an aliphatic aldehyde in the presence of hydrochloric acid. We can also use zinc chloride. First of all, these acetaldehyde will undergo aldol condensation to give us the crotonaldehyde, which is again a conjugated adduct, which will react in the same manner with the amine. Here in case this is the primary aromatic amine, the same steps will be there as there was in Scrope's synthesis, but here no oxidizing agent is required. These are the synthetic steps in which we have taken this acetaldehyde, which will first undergo aldol condensation to form crotonaldehyde. This is crotonaldehyde, which will attack on aniline molecule in the same manner, that is the Michael type addition, nucleophilic addition. Again we will get a adduct here, which after protonation and electrophilic addition will cyclize the molecule, and we will get here this cyclic moiety, which after dehydration, here dehydration will take place at this position, OH from this carbon and hydrogen from this, and this water will be removed and you will get a double bond here. So there is a one double bond introduced in this molecule by dehydration, which will then react with the Schiff's base, and an aromatic center will be introduced in this molecule. Here it is having the methyl substituent at the 2 positions. The name of this compound is quinaldene. There is an hydride shift to Schiff's base. This Schiff's base we will get from this aniline and acetaldehyde. When we have these 2 reactants in the same reaction, we will get Schiff's base here. So it will also do the oxidation in the molecule. Next synthetic method is Fried-Lander's synthesis. This synthesis is very important synthesis because it also confirms the structure of quinoline. Here there is a condensation of orthoaminobenzaldehyde. This is orthoaminobenzaldehyde with aldehyde or ketone containing a reactive methylene group adjacent to the carbonyl group in the aqueous NaOH, sodium hydroxide. Here you can see that this CH2, this is active methylene carbon. After condensation of these two moieties, water will be removed. In the condensation reaction, only simple molecules will be reduced, are eliminated. Here water is eliminated and we will get this cyclized product, which is the substituted quinoline. We can change these substituent, these R groups can be changed and we can get the respective substituted quinoline. This reaction is very important since it is also used for preparing coumarins, where orthoaminobenzaldehyde is replaced by orthohydroxybenzaldehyde. So in case of this amino group, we can take here the hydroxy group and we will get the respected coumarin. Next is the Fitt-Zinser synthesis. It is the modification of the last Friedlander synthesis, and here it employs icetin in place of orthoaminobenzaldehyde. This icetin is very important compound with respect to dyes. This icetin on reaction with sodium hydroxide will give us this molecule, which is the sodium salt of this icetin, which will then react with the substituted aldehyde or ketone, which is again having the active methylene carbon. Then these two molecules will undergo condensation. Again water will go out, water will be eliminated to give us this cyclic moiety, which after decarboxylation from this carboxylic acid group will give us the substituted quinoline. The next most important reaction of quinoline synthesis is Konrad-Limpeck and Knorr synthesis. This reaction contains two names, one is the Konrad-Limpeck and one is the Knorr synthesis. Both are having the different environment. The first Konrad-Limpeck reaction, it takes place at the low temperature, while Knorr synthesis takes place at the higher temperature. Both synthesis involves condensation of beta ketoester and aniline. In the Konrad-Limpeck reaction, it involves the ketonic group of the beta ketoester to form the Schiff's base. Here for the beta ketoester, we have taken here ethyl acetoacetate. This is the ethyl, this is the aceto and this is the acetate. Then it will undergo condensation with the aniline molecule at temperature up to 100 degree. Water will go out to give us this molecule, which will then undergo cyclization and enolization to give us the substituted quinoline. Then comes the Knorr synthesis. This synthesis takes place at the higher temperature, which involves the ester group of the beta ketoester to form the amide. Here we have used the ester group. In the last reaction in the Konrad-Limpeck, we have taken the acetyl group. Here we have taken the ester group and we will get here the same steps are here. Water will go out and enolization will take place and we will get the substituted quinoline. Other methods can also be used, in which we can take the nitro group of the respective quinoline. This nitro group we will take, it will first undergo reduction, then it will cyclize to give us the quinoline molecule. So this was all about the synthesis of quinoline. With this, I will finish this module. Thanks. So after doing the many synthetic reactions, many synthetic part of the quinoline, now we will discuss about the physical property of the quinoline and then we will start with the chemical properties. In the physical properties, this quinoline is a colorless hygroscopic liquid. Since it is hygroscopic, it catches the moisture easily with the, it is having a strong odor, it turns yellow on standing and it is having pyridine like smell. It is soluble in cold water and also in alcohol, ether and carbon disulfide. Since we have shown that carbon is having the tertiary nitrogen atom, so it is a weak tertiary base. It can also form salts with acids and shows reactions similar to those of pyridine as well as benzene. It will show all the reactions of pyridine and will show many reactions of benzene. Since it contains both nucleus together, it will undergo electrophilic as well as nucleophilic reactions side by side. Due to its high boiling point, which is 237 degree centigrade, it is very useful in high boiling solvents for various types of organic compounds. It is known toxic to human beings on oral absorption and inhalation, since it was a quinoline molecule which is a remedy for the malaria disease. It can be taken as oral substitute. It is also present in many tonics also. Its nucleus occurs in several natural compounds. In many cinchona alkaloids, this quinoline nucleus is the main skeleton of those alkaloids. It is pharmacologically active compound with broad range of biological activities. Quinoline has been found to possess many antimalarial, antibacterial, antifungal, anticonvulsant, anti-inflammatory and analgesic properties. So pharmacologically it is very active compound since it contains so many properties. Then comes the chemical property of this quinoline compound. First of all, we will discuss about its basic character. It is slightly weaker basic than pyridine. All of you know that pyridine is a base which is having the pKa value of 5.2. Here this quinoline molecule is having the pKa value of 4.94, which is slightly lesser than pyridine. So it also behaves as a base as pyridine. It reacts with acids to form salts which are sparingly soluble in water. Here we have shown the reaction of quinoline with the salt. We have taken this quinoline molecule. It will react with hydrochloric acid to form this salt which is called quinolinium chloride. Since it reacts with acid, so here it is reacting as a base. Like most of tertiary amines, it also forms quaternary salts with the alkyl halide. Here we have taken methyl iodide. Quinoline on reaction with methyl iodide will form the quinoline methiodide or N-methyl quinolinium iodide, which is again a salt which shows its basic character. Moreover, this basic character of this compound made it useful during the various chemical reactions where the two reactants are combined together by the removal of an hydrogen atom from one of the reactant and halogen atom from the other one reactant. In those reactions, the basicity of this quinoline molecule has been applied on that reactions. Then comes the electrophilic and nucleophilic reactions of quinoline. Like pyridine, the electron withdrawing property of the nitrogen atom deactivates the pyridine ring of the quinoline towards electrophilic reagents, and hence the electrophilic substitution occurs in quinoline, preferentially in the benzene ring, whereas the nucleophilic substitution will take place in the pyridine ring, especially if the conditions are acidic. Furthermore, here we have shown the charge densities of various positions of quinoline. Here you can say that the position number 8, 6 and 5, these will be attacked preferentially by the electrophilic reagents since the electron charge density is higher at this position. So, electrophile will attack on position number 8, 5 and 6, whereas the position number 2 and 4, these are attacked by the nucleophilic reagents since the electron charge density is lesser here. Here it is only 0.722 at position number 4 and position number 2 it is 0.789, which is lesser than the charge density present on the carbon number 5, 6 and 8. So, by the calculation of charge density, we can also decide that which position will be attacked by the electrophilic reagent and which will be attacked by the nucleophilic reagents. Here we have shown electrophilic substitution reactions. One of them is nitration. Quinoline undergoes nitration with fuming nitric acid in the presence of sulfuric acid at temperature 220 degrees centigrade to give us two molecules, mixture of two molecules, one is 5-nitroquinoline and one is 8-nitroquinoline. So, here also the electrophilic substitution will take place at the position number 5 and the position number 8. In the sulfonation reaction, quinoline can be sulfonated with the fuming sulfuric acid, which is also called as oleum, at 220 degrees centigrade. Again here we will get mixture of two products. One of them is quinoline 8 sulfonic acid and one is quinoline 5 sulfonic acid. Here again we will get the electrophilic substitution at the position number 8 and at the position number 5. The kinetics of these two reactions shows that the quinolinium ion is the species actually sulfonated or nitrated. First this quinolinium ion is formed, then only the further reaction will take place. Thus both of the above two reactions occurs in strongly acidic conditions. Then comes the nucleophilic substitution reactions which will take place at the pyridine nucleus of this quinoline. Like pyridine, nucleophilic substitutions occur in the pi deficient pyridine ring. This nitrogen is very electronegative atom, so this pyridine ring is pi deficient, in which the preferred site of attack is position number 2. This is position number 2, which will be attacked by the nucleophile. If this position number 2 is already occupied, then attack will take place at the position number 4. For nucleophilic substitution reaction, we have taken here the amination of quinoline, in which quinoline will react with sodamide. This is sodamide in the presence of liquid ammonia, and we will get here the 2-aminoquinoline, which will be formed via this adduct formation. This is a type of Chichi-Babin reaction which takes place in pyridine, in which the sodamide in the presence of liquid ammonia first forms this adduct and then on reaction with potassium permanganate will give us the substituted product, which is here 2-aminoquinoline. Then comes the reaction with potassium hydroxide. It is again a type of nucleophilic substitution reaction in which quinoline will react with potassium hydroxide at 220 degrees centigrade to give us 2-aminoquinoline. Here again we will get the hydroxy substituent at the position number 2, and this nucleophile will give us the 2 substituted quinoline. Then comes a reaction with N-butyl lithium. This is again a type of nucleophilic substitution reaction in which quinoline will react with N-butyl lithium. This is N-butyl lithium to yield us 2N-butyl quinoline. Here again this butyl part of this N-butyl lithium will attack on position number 2 and we will get here 2N-butyl quinoline. Then comes the alkylation and acylation of quinoline. Quinoline reacts with alkyl halide or acetyl halide to give us their respective N-alkyl quinolinium halide and N-acyl quinolinium halide respectively. Here these two salts are formed with the alkyl halide and the acetyl halide. However, if we take the acetyl nitrate at the place of acetyl halide at 20 degrees centigrade, it undergoes an addition substitution reaction to give 3-nitroquinoline. Here this quinoline will react in a different manner if we take the nitrate. If we take the acetyl nitrate in place of acetyl halide, 1,4 addition will take place and we will get this addition product, which will then again undergo nitration. Here this is the nitronium ion and we will get here the 3-nitroquinoline. So the substitution here is at the position number 3. It is exception to this reaction of nucleophilic substitution. Then comes the oxidation reactions. Since oxidation is dependent on electron availability, so the potassium permanganate oxidation will destroy the benzene ring. Since benzene ring is rich in electrons and it leaves the pi deficient pyridine ring intact. This benzene ring, this is rich in electrons, so it will be oxidized from these two carbon positions and we will get here the oxidation product, which is called quinolinic acid. In this benzene ring has been oxidized to give us the 2 carboxylic acid groups in the pyridine ring, which will further go decarboxylation to give us nicotinic acid. This nicotinic acid is very important compound in many alkaloids. So this reaction is very important in that respect. It can also oxidized by peracetic acid to give us quinoline and oxide. Quinoline can be undergo oxidation reaction with the peracetic acid. Here we have taken this acetic acid. This is having this carbon number more than the acetic acid. So this is called peracetic acid. It will form the quinoline and oxide. Quinoline can also undergo reduction reactions in the two manners. It can undergo reduction with the catalyst, which will attack preferentially the more electron deficient pyridine ring of the quinoline. So this pyridine ring will be reduced. This is the quinoline. On reaction with lithium aluminium hydride, it will undergo reduction to give us the 1,2-dihydroquinoline. Here only one double bond has been reduced, while in case of mild reduction with tin and hydrochloric acid, here we will get 1,2,3,4 tetrahydroquinoline. 2 double bonds of pyridine ring has been reduced, which can further undergo reduction with the platinum and the hydrogen, and the whole of the quinoline molecule will be reduced. All 5 double bond have been reduced here and we will get here the decahydroquinoline. All these 5 double bonds which you can see in the quinoline molecule has been reduced in 2 steps via catalyst and we will get here the complete reduced product decahydroquinoline. Quinoline also undergoes halogenation reactions, but these are contrary to the predictions which should happen. That is, these halogenation will take place at position number 2 and position number 3. If we take bromine in the vapor phase, the halogenation will take place at the position number 3. We will get here 3-bromoquinoline, while if we take bromine at 500 degrees centigrade, we will get the substitution at the position number 2 and we will get here the 2-bromoquinoline. Bromination can also take place in the presence of acids also and we will get here the mixture of 2 products. And this is a type of electrophilic addition. Here you can see that these two bromine molecules have been added on the benzene ring. We will get here a mixture of 5 bromoquinoline and 8 bromoquinoline. This later reaction, it is formed by the formation of quinolinium cation with the acid. First, the acid will react on the quinoline to form the cation. Then it will undergo bromination by the brominium ion electrophile and we will get a mixture. Then comes the quinoline derivatives. This quinoline structure, this quinoline skeleton is present in many alkaloids. One of them is cinchona alkaloid. Cinchona alkaloids are quinoline derivatives which occur in the cinchona bark, the bark of this cinchona plant. The two important cinchona alkaloids are quinine and cinchonine. If this R is equivalent to N, then the compound will be cinchonine, and if we take this as methoxy, this R is methoxy, then the compound will be quinine. One of the quinoline derivatives are having the chemotherapeutic agents based on relationship of structure and activity of the compound of many quinolines. These has been designed as the better anti-malarial drugs. Many synthetic anti-malarial drugs are based on this quinoline structure only. One of them is plasmoquine. This is the plasmoquine anti-malarial. It is a synthetic anti-malarial. Here you can see that it is having this, the base structure of this plasmoquine is quinoline, and in case of pentaquine also we have only the positions of substituents and the substituents are different, but the base structure is quinoline here. This chloroquine, it also having the quinoline nucleus. It is very important anti-malarial drug, and nowadays it has been used, it is available in the market. Some quinoline derivatives with different chemotherapeutic importance are also there, in which one of them is Neupercarine, which is a powerful anesthetic. These anesthetic drugs are employed to the patients before going to the operation, so it is an important drug. Then Bioform is again a drug which is a remedy for gastrointestinal infections. It is also having this quinoline as the base structure. Then this is the icetin molecule, which is mainly present in the dyes, which on reaction with sodium hydroxide will give us the acetic acid, will further react with the compound to give us atropine, which is also called as syncophane. It is a remedy for gout disease. Then hydroxyquinolines, these are also the quinoline derivatives. These can be prepared by the Scrope synthesis. Here we have taken 8-hydroxyquinoline, which is a derivative of quinoline and can be prepared from the quinoline 8-sulfonic acid. By reaction with sodium hydroxide, first of all we will get the sodium salt of this sulfonic acid, which on reaction with acid will give us the 8-hydroxyquinoline. This 8-hydroxyquinoline is also known as oxime and is very used in gravimetric analysis for many metals like magnesium, zinc and cadmium as a versatile chelating agent with which it forms slightly soluble salts. This oxime molecule is having intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Here you can see in this oxime molecule that there is a hydrogen bonding which can be used for its chelation property. Here we have shown the metal salt of oxime. This M can be magnesium, can be zinc or any other metal also, where it shows its chelation property. Moreover, this 8-hydroxyquinoline is also a good antiseptic drug. Then comes a quinoline dyes, various commercially available dyestuffs possesses the quinoline nucleus. Although dyes are used for the fabrics, but here these dyes are used as the photographic sensitizers due to their sensibility to light. Some of the important quinoline dyes are quinoline yellow. This is the quinoline yellow we have shown here. This is used as a dye for textiles. It can be quinoline blue, a cyanine dye, which is sensitive to yellow, orange, red or green region of spectrum. It can be ethyl red and isocyanine dye, which is sensitizes the photographic plate from orange to ultraviolet region of the spectrum. Pseudocyanin dye, it also contains the quinoline nucleus, which is sensitive to blue to green part of the spectrum. Sensitol red is again a carbocyanin dye, which again contains the quinoline as the base nucleus. It is also sensitive to red to orange part of spectrum. Then comes the application of the quinoline molecule we have discussed so far. Quinoline is used in the manufacture of dyes, the preparation of hydroxyquinoline sulfate and the niacin pharmaceuticals. It acts as a high boiling basic solvent for resins and terpenes. So, what are these resins and terpenes molecules? Resins are the extracts from the plants which are extracted when a plant get injured. It is a type of bandage for the plant for the invasion of insects and any other bacterial or fungal infection. So, these resins, when on exposure to air, they get hardened. So, to solubilize these hard material resins, we require any high boiling solvent. Quinoline is one of them which is used here. For terpenes also, terpenes are the organic compounds present in the essential oils. Essential oils which are having the aroma. This aroma is basically only because of these terpene molecules. For these to make them these terpenes soluble, quinoline is used. Quinoline is also a principal precursor to 8-hydroxyquinoline, which is a versatile chelating agent. These chelating agent can be used for providing the supplements, to providing the nutrients to the body also. This chelation property can be also used in the pharmaceuticals. Oxidation of this quinoline gives us the quinolinic acid, which is again a herbicide. What are these herbicides? These are the molecules which can be used to eradicate the unwanted plants from the crop. So, one of them is the assert molecule, which is having the quinoline as the base molecule, which is nowadays used as the most common herbicide. This quinoline is also used as nicotinic acid, which prevents pellagra disease in humans. So, this was all about the application of quinoline molecule. Here we have taken few questions also for the exercise. Answers of these questions have been given in the lecture. One of them is outline the synthesis of quinoline by Scraps method. What is the role of ferrous sulfate in this Scraps synthesis? Explain the basicity of quinoline. Describe the product of oxidation with potassium permanganate. How the oxidation reaction helps in predicting the structure of quinoline. What happens when quinoline reacts with acetyl nitrate? What happens when quinoline is treated with benzoyl chloride and alkali and many other reagents also? Why nucleophilic attacks takes place in the pyridine ring and electrophilic attack at the benzene ring? What is 8-hydroxyquinoline and what's its application? And predict which methylquinoline is vigorously oxidized to the tricarboxylic acid, that is then hydrodized to a mixture of 2-carboxylic acid anhydrides. So, these were few questions. Answers of these have been given in the lecture. I hope all viewers will solve these and will give us the feedback. Thank you.
Dear friends, on that note, we would like to thank you for watching our show. I hope that what we have given a lecture on will be very helpful for you to in your understanding of the topic. On that note, I would like to thank ma'am for this very enriching discussion, and thank you, dear friends, for watching our show. Stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you.